Rachel Bennett had always believed that people, at their core, were kind. That belief had carried her through a bitter divorce from David Langford 6 months earlier, a marriage that ended not with violence, but with cold, calculated resentment. David had accused her of poisoning their 2.5-year-old daughter Haley against him during custody hearings. The judge, seeing through the manipulation, granted Rachel primary custody with supervised visits for David. She never imagined that resentment could curdle into something far darker. It was a mild Thursday in spring at Everpine Park in Sequim, Washington, a place of squeaking swings, blooming cherry trees, and the comforting murmur of other parents. Haley, in her beloved red Elmo t-shirt, the one she refused to take off for days because Elmo is my best friend, had been swinging with pure toddler glee. Then came the sudden, messy diarrhea, a common toddler emergency during potty training days. Rachel had left the diaper bag in the car 200 feet away across the lot. Haley, stubborn as only a 2-year-old can be, planted herself on the swing and wailed, "No, more swing." That's when Melissa appeared, warm smile, gentle voice, sitting on the bench with her 7-year-old son playing nearby on the monkey bars. "I'm Melissa, a kindergarten teacher," she said. "I can watch her for just a minute while you grab what you need. Teachers handle diaper disasters all the time." Rachel hesitated. Every mother's internal alarm flickered, but the woman's calm demeanor, the presence of her own child, and Haley's escalating tantrum tipped the scale. 5 minutes tops, Rachel promised herself. She sprinted to the car. When she returned, the swing was empty. Haley was gone. Melissa was gone. The playground felt suddenly vast and hostile. Rachel's voice cracked as she called Haley's name, heads turned, concern rippling outward. She checked the restrooms, empty stalls, echoing silence. Panic clawed up her throat. 911, park security. Police swarmed within 20 minutes. David was called. His first reaction was rage. "You left our daughter with a stranger? What kind of mother are you?" The investigation began methodically. Witnesses were called, a friendly woman, but no license plate, no clear face. David's house was searched, nothing. His alibi held, a work meeting. Rachel sat in the police station waiting room, clutching Haley's photo, replaying every second. The fluorescent hum overhead felt like judgment. She hadn't slept. Grief and guilt wrestled inside her. Had she been careless? Naive? The word negligence echoed in David's accusations, stabbing deeper each time. 48 hours later came the janitor's discovery. Frankie Morales, a 15-year veteran of the park, had noticed the last stall in the women's restroom locked for 2 days. On his evening round, he used his master key. Inside, Haley's red Elmo shirt and a soiled pull-up diaper placed deliberately on the floor. No blood. No child. Just those small, heartbreaking items. Rachel identified them instantly. The shirt Haley had worn for days. The diaper from that exact emergency. Forensics found no child fingerprints in the stall, only adult partials. Someone had staged the scene. Detective Hart's voice was steady. This suggests deliberate misdirection. Rachel's knees buckled. This wasn't a lost child. This was calculated abduction. Surveillance later showed a woman, Melissa, carrying Haley toward a sedan, a boy trailing behind. A partial plate led to Melissa Crane, a kindergarten teacher whose house stood vacant. Rachel stared at the grainy image, whispering, "She seemed so normal." Philosophically, this chapter forces us to confront the illusion of safety in everyday kindness. The English idiom, "don't judge a book by its cover," exists for moments like this, yet we still do, because survival depends on some level of social trust. Advanced vocabulary here includes curdle, when positive emotions like love turn bitter and sour, like milk left out too long, methodically, done in a careful, orderly way, and the phrasal verb curdle into, slowly transform into something worse. Modern relevance? In our hyper-connected yet increasingly isolated world, we teach children stranger danger. But what happens when danger wears the mask of helpfulness? Rachel's pain teaches us, trust must be balanced with vigilance, but losing trust entirely hardens the heart. She could have become bitter, blaming herself forever. Instead, she chose to keep searching, emotionally and literally. What would you do if your deepest trust was weaponized against you? Would you close off or find the courage to trust again? Wiser but not broken? Rachel retrieved Haley's documents from David's house against Detective Hart's cautious advice. His Audi sat in the driveway despite his claimed meeting. Grocery bags, suitcase, cooler box, packed for travel. Inside, she found a boy's gift-wrapped present and a woman's tortoiseshell hair clip. Unease bloomed into suspicion. She photographed everything, bagged the clip. Driving away, she saw a taxi drop a woman in hijab and sunglasses. The woman used her own key to enter David's home, later emerged with his car keys, installed a new child car seat in the Audi, loaded bags, and drove off. Rachel followed, heart pounding, phone line open to Hart. The trail led to an isolated cottage on Evergreen Lane, once owned by David's friend, now seemingly used without permission. There, Rachel witnessed the unthinkable. Melissa, disguised earlier, carried a cooler inside. A boy ran out, the same from the park. Then Haley, drowsy, alive, toddling onto the porch in different clothes. Rachel wept. She's there. My baby is there. David arrived by taxi, entered without knocking. Soon they emerged, David carrying Haley to the new car seat, Melissa guiding her son. They were leaving, suitcases, cooler, forged documents ready for the Port Angeles ferry to Canada, then a new life under aliases. Rachel followed at a distance, updating Hart. Police intercepted at the terminal. David snarled as he was cuffed. She deserves a real family, something you couldn't give her. Melissa's son Tyler cried for his mother and sister Haley. Evidence mounted. Tampered fruit pouch from David caused the diarrhea. Online forum messages showed David recruiting Melissa with promises of money and family. Forged papers listed them as one unit with fake consent from Rachel. Rachel's world fractured anew. David hadn't just resented her. He'd orchestrated abduction to rescue Haley from a mother he deemed unworthy. Melissa, a struggling single mom desperate for stability and a sibling for Tyler, had believed his lies. Advanced idioms, curdle into something darker, emotions turning toxic, tip the scale, small factor deciding the outcome, bloom into suspicion, grow gradually but powerfully. Philosophical teaching. Betrayal by those closest cuts deepest because it shatters the foundation of identity. If the person who vowed to love me can do this, who can I trust? Yet Rachel's pursuit showed resilience. The English phrasal verb push through means continue despite pain. Modern English learning tie-in. Notice how weaponized turned into a tool for harm and orchestrated, carefully planned like music, elevate everyday language into precise, powerful expression, tools for describing complex human motives in essays or conversations. The deepest question, when someone you once loved becomes the architect of your greatest pain, can you still hold onto your own humanity, or does their darkness pull you under too? At the station, Haley slept in Rachel's lap, dehydrated, feverish, but safe. Tyler sat alone, clutching his toy car, asking, "Where is my mom? When can I see Haley, my sister?" His innocence pierced Rachel. He had fed Haley juice, helped her to the bathroom, believed they were becoming family. Rachel asked to speak with Melissa. In the interview room, Melissa wept. "I thought I was building a better life for Tyler." David made it sound noble. Rachel asked one thing, permission for temporary guardianship of Tyler. Melissa, stunned by the mercy, consented. After expedited checks, Rachel drove home with 2 sleeping children, Haley by birth, Tyler by choice. The road felt endless yet hopeful. She had lost faith in people, yet found capacity for compassion she never knew existed. This chapter explores mercy versus justice. Mercy doesn't erase accountability. David and Melissa face prison. But mercy refuses to let innocent children pay for adult sins. Vocabulary. Expedited, speeded up officially, pierced, emotionally wounded sharply. Phrasal verb, shatter anew, break again, freshly painful. Universal wisdom. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Rachel lived that, refusing to let bitterness define her. Modern relevance. In an age of cancel culture and retribution online, Rachel's choice reminds us that true strength lies in lifting others up, even when they, or their parents, hurt us deeply. Reflection. If mercy feels like weakness, ask, what costs more? Holding a grudge forever, or extending a hand that might heal two wounded hearts? Chapter 4. Rebuilding from ashes, healing, adjustment, and new bonds almost equals 4,300 words. Days turned to weeks. Haley had nightmares calling for Tyler in sleep. Tyler asked daily when his mom would return. Rachel balanced therapy, school enrollment for Tyler, playdates, and court dates. She taught both children safety without fear, using simple English stories to build vocabulary and emotional literacy. One evening, Tyler drew a picture. 4 stick figures, him, Haley, Rachel, and a distant mom. He whispered, "Can we visit her someday?" Rachel nodded. Boundaries, but not walls. Philosophical layer. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor, taught that suffering ceases to be suffering when it finds meaning. Rachel found meaning in giving Tyler stability, turning personal tragedy into shared healing. English learning. Words like boundaries, limits that protect, ceases, stops completely, and the idiom from ashes, reborn after destruction, like a phoenix, help express recovery narratives powerfully. Question: when life burns your world down, do you stay among the ruins or start planting seeds for something new? Years later, Haley and Tyler grew as siblings, not by blood, but by choice and care. Rachel never remarried, but built a home filled with laughter again. David and Melissa served sentences. Contact remained minimal, supervised. Rachel spoke at parenting forums. Trust wisely, but love fiercely. Mercy isn't forgetting, it's refusing to let evil win twice. Final wisdom. Forgiveness doesn't excuse harm, it frees the forgiver. In English, the proverb, to err is human, to forgive divine, captures this divine-like strength Rachel embodied. Advanced reflection. Notice how embodied, lived out in action, not just words, transforms abstract ideas into lived truth, a key skill for persuasive speaking and writing. Closing message. In a world quick to judge and slow to understand, choose the harder path, the one that heals instead of harms. Because sometimes the greatest victory isn't winning against evil, it's refusing to become it. What act of unexpected kindness could you offer today, even to someone who doesn't deserve it, that might ripple outward and change a life, maybe even yours? Thank you for joining this journey. Like, subscribe, and share your own story of mercy in the comments. Until next time, keep choosing light.